Now we'd like to introduce our very own Deb Stovall. She's been interfaith minister. She is a licensed teacher, and she's been with Unity since 1998. So let's give it up for Deb.
Perfect. Thank you, sweet. So welcome, everybody, to Unity of Dallas, and this is officially fall. Right? Yes, we arrived. I mean, no more, God, no more hundreds. Hear me? Okay, it's over with. We're done. We're baked. We're cooked. Okay, I would like to introduce my family who's on the front row. If you all would stand up and turn around and wave. Are they not gorgeous and handsome and perfect? I have the perfect grandchildren, in case you didn't know. The perfect. So welcome to today, and my topic is the presence is a present. You know, we always say the present is a present, don't we? And it just came to me. I thought I have to talk about that, and I have to put a Christmas present up there because it helps me affirm that cold weather is coming, okay? So we think of, oh yeah, December, when we look at that. So I thought I kind of play on words. The presence is a present. The presence of God is a present, is it not? And it's feeling the presence of God, isn't it? It's feeling our connection with God is our present. That's our present. So let's talk about how we connect. The first way that we can connect with God, which I love because it always works, is gratitude. That always works. And you know, I have that little practice I've had you all do. Think about something you're worried about, right? And then think about something you're grateful for. Now keep worrying. Keep worrying. Now stay in gratitude. You can't do both at the same time. I think that's amazing that we're made that way. God made us that way. We are wired that way, that we cannot be angry, be worried, be fearful, and be in gratitude. We can't be in both places. Is that not cool? I think, wow, those architects that designed us said, hey, boss, why don't we separate this stuff from gratitude? And God said, good idea. Go for it, right? So anytime you're in a bad mood, or you wake up upset, angry, fearful, worried, just think of somebody you're grateful for. Thoughts are just molecules bouncing around up here, aren't they? So the minute you think a gratitude thought, what you do is chemistry. What you do is you disrupt the thought molecules, and they just go poof, and then they do poof, and they become gratitude. I don't know why they don't teach that in basic chemistry, right? The formation of thoughts, the dissipation of thoughts, the reformation of thoughts. That's what it is. So let's take that into meditation. Be sure your cell phones are off, and let's uncross our legs, uncross our arms, and we'll close our eyes. And as we go into a place of gratitude, we feel gratitude for someone or something. And we feel this feeling of love and compassion. And we are grateful for whoever or whatever we're thinking of. And we know in this place that we are in our Christ within. We're in our God space. We are connected to God. Gratitude is our connection. And we feel the peace that God is. We feel the place where there are no worries, no anger, no fear, just love. And we sit in this space of love, relishing it, knowing that it is our truth. It is who we really are as spiritual beings. We are love. We are peace. And we see this love as a light that moves from our hearts out into the universe. It moves out over the planet. It moves from city to city, spreading our peace. We spread the love that we are. Knowing that it touches many, many other people at this very moment. At this very moment, we make a difference in our world. We feel the peace and the love of those that have already transitioned, of those that have passed, of those that have built our church for the past 80 years. And we are grateful. We are grateful for those that have touched our lives that are no longer here. And we feel this gratitude. And we say, thank you, God. Amen. Feel good? Yeah, I just see all these spiritual beings now. Nobody's worrying. It's just the energy, it just shifts, doesn't it? It's so beautiful. So feeling the presence of God is gratitude. It's also knowing that you have choices. Feeling the presence of God is about having choices. And it's also about feeling the love that we are. Let's talk about choices for a minute. There's an old Chinese saying. We hear it, we've heard it all our lives. I didn't know it was a Chinese. You can't keep the birds from flying over your head, but you can keep them from building nests in your hair. Is that just a horrible picture? I don't usually walk around under birds anyway, right? But occasionally a bird will fly over, but they never build a nest. So it's a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for the fact that we can choose, right? We can choose how we think about things. So it doesn't matter what happens to us, even the worst. Viktor Frankl, who was in the Holocaust, who was in Auschwitz for a year and a half, weighed 85 pounds when he was rescued at the end of World War II. And someone interviewed him later and said, "How did you survive? How did you survive that torturous life?" And he said, "I kept thinking about my wife and my children and how much I loved them over and over and over." And that kept him alive. He went on to become a psychiatrist, and he created a therapy called logotherapy, which is basically talk therapy. You talk about your experience and it heals you. An amazing, amazing man that made a difference. So we always have a choice how we're going to think about a situation. Here's another quote by Sir Julian Huxley. We've said this quote a million times, haven't we? Excuse me. Experience is not what happens to a person, it's what he does with what happens to him. And we all know people that have had tragedy in their lives, do we not? And we know people that never recover, and we know people that recover. How do they recover? They change their thoughts. Back to changing your thoughts. Our third principle in unity is we create our experiences by what we choose to think, feel, and believe. So we can actually change our reality. I mean, that's mind-blowing. If I'm not happy with my life, I can change it by what I think. Maybe I'm in a situation health-wise that I cannot change, right? Maybe I have a disease that I can't change, but I can change how I think about it. And we know people that do that. A lot of people in unity do that, right? Because this is really a big part of unity. Myrtle Fillmore had tuberculosis. She's the co-founder of Unity. She had tuberculosis about age 40, and they told her she had 6 months to live. And she said, "I don't think so." That was Myrtle. She said, "I don't think so." She said, "This will be gone." She began to meditate and pray. "Every cell in my body is healthy." That was her prayer for 2 years. And tuberculosis disappeared. It flat disappeared. And she lived till she was 86. She died at 86. So what's that? 40-something years that she defied science, doctors, biology. She defied it with meditation. We always have a choice to choose our thoughts, just a review, which determines our feelings and our attitude, which determines our actions, which creates our reality. It creates our reality. Yeah, sometimes you need to get out of a situation, right? If it's dangerous, if it's not right, you need to get out. But you can change your thinking every day. I do something every morning. So I learned it in 12-step. I'm a member of Al-Anon. We have what we call the third step prayer. And what we say is, "I surrender my life and will to the care of God as I know Him." I surrender my life and will to the care of God as I know Him. I have not done that today. I'll be honest with you. I have not done that today. I just did it. And when I do it, something inside of me goes click, and I move from my ego to my spirit. Now, then I get out of bed, and I go in the kitchen, and Gerald's he's like unloading the dishwasher, and it's all dirty. And I go, really? Like, where'd you put the dirty forks? Well, I don't know. I just mixed them all in. No. So see how quickly we can flip out of that spiritual place? And honestly, he does all the cleanup at our house. I mean, I'm so grateful. So grateful. And who likes to clean? I cook and he cleans up. And that's how we do it. But how quickly we can flip, right? We can flip out of that beautiful spiritual place. So then I got to do it again. I surrender my life and will to the care of God. And I'm not paying any attention to Gerald. And so get my coffee. But it's a deal, isn't it? It's a thing to stay out of ego. Jesus said, all things whatsoever you pray and ask for, believe that you receive them, and ye shall have them. And this is what we're talking about. So when you think your thoughts, a thought is a prayer. Isn't that an interesting idea? Every thought is a prayer because every thought is setting an intention. Oh, I am just already upset about the day. It's just going to go bad. Why, you just set an intention. And Jesus said, whatever you ask for, you're going to get. And you will. You will. You'll drive out of the driveway and hit the curb and, whatever. The kids will plop over and they'll turn a flip in the back seat. And it's just the way it goes. But if you think those positive thoughts, which Unity is known for, you get a positive reality. God is love. Let's talk about love connecting us to God. This is a board. You can't see the whole board. It's about this big and this wide. And it hung in our breakfast room growing up. My mom had it. Grammy had it. The girls have heard me talk about Grammy. And I read this every morning, God is love. My mom painted it. She was a really good artist. And I read this. My parents didn't talk about God. We went to a Presbyterian church because Mom was raised a Presbyterian. We went to Sunday school and church. But there was no talk about God in our home. But there were little things like this. And Mom had little plaques, here and there through the house. And that was her way, I think, of saying, God is real. God is present. God is love. So we were at Tuesday book study lunch last week. And I was thinking about this talk, and I thought, what could I do for love? I mean, it's just, we're like tired of talking about love, aren't we? It's like, oh, love each other, even though you may not. And it's like, okay, put a smile on my face. I'm walking in the church. Hi, everybody. I love you, I love you, I love you. And inside, maybe you don't. So I was thinking, we go to lunch after Tuesday book study. Come join my book study. Every Tuesday, 10:30 to 12:30. And we would love to have more men. We have 3 men right now, and they're saying, bring in some more men. But we have about 12 to 15 people that attend, and we study books. We're getting ready to start Wayne Dyer's book on the 10 secrets of peace, achieving peace. So anyway, we're at lunch, and I'm looking at these ladies, and I said, hey, what's love to you all? Well, look what I got. I mean, this place perked up. Oh, well, it's my fur baby. I go, yeah, tell me about your fur baby, Billy. And Billy says, well, I have 3 now. She just moved in with her daughter and son-in-law. They have 2 dogs, and she has 1. Her dog is up in the right-hand corner, and that's Trivy. Bear is one of them. I can't remember the third one. But you walk in Billy's house, and whoop, there they are. I mean, they are the greeters, and they all want a treat, right? And they will not leave you alone till they get their treat. Eva Lloyd, We love our queen of the kitchen angels. Her baby, is that not precious, is Loki. And many times at Tuesday Book Study, when we have it on Zoom, Loki's a part of the book study. And there's Loki talking to us. Love Decker's fur babies. So Teddy's in the top right, and Katie's at the bottom. Katie was a rescue dog and ended up in a shelter. And so I thought, wow, Katie, you were a rescued homeless dog, and here you are. You made the big screen at Unity of Dallas. I mean, that little puppy set an intention, right? And said, I'm going to be on the big screen someday. And go, Katie, go. What a sweetheart. And she said she's so sweet. And here's Tina's grandpuppy. This is Luna. You can see the love, can't you, that Tina has for this grandpuppy. It's so sweet. I asked Tina about her dogs and or puppies or cats, and she said they passed. She said, I really don't want to talk about them. I said, do you have any grands? And she goes, oh, yes, I have a grand. And all these women had their phones out, and they were like looking for the perfect picture. And we got them. So thank you, ladies, for showing us love. And so here's my loves. Yeah, there they are. So I have 4 granddaughters now. So these 3, this is Crawford, Bennett, and Boone. And they're just precious. They are 8 years old, 6 years old, and 3, almost a 4-year-old, December 1st. Yeah. And number 4. So her real name is Eva Jane, but they nicknamed her Boots after my great-grandmother. So that's kind of fun. And she's got my glasses, which she totally destroyed. And we don't care, do we? He's like, oh, let me give you another pair. So anyway, that's love in my life and love in a lot of people's lives with your fur babies, I know, especially Bo and Stephen have their beautiful, and Anne have their fur babies. And that's love, isn't it? And love is God. Love is God. And we have this ability, we have this capability to feel love. Because that's what we are. That's what we are. We're made of love. Yeah. So to review, because I'm a teacher, right? Feeling the presence of God. We feel it through gratitude. So if you don't like your thoughts one morning, just think of a grateful thought. And you've already switched it. It's magic. We can perform magic. Know that you always have a choice to change your thoughts, which changes your reality. And third, feel the love that you are, and you're connected to God. And isn't that all that matters? For me, it is. Yeah, I want this, and I want that, and I want to buy more clothes, and I want to buy this. But really what matters is that I feel the peace of God that I am. I feel who I truly am. And that is love. That is love. So 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Read this with me. Let's do this together. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Isn't it beautiful? So next, we're going to do our remembrance ceremony. If you don't have a rose, hold up your hand and the ushers will bring you one. I know some people came in late. Bo, way back in the back on this side. Some people need a rose. So we're going to be honoring those that have passed away. This is sort of a soft opening of our 80th anniversary, 80 years that Unity's been in Dallas. And part of our opening is remembering those that built Unity in Dallas. The many ministers that have gone before us, the many teachers and congregants that have made Unity what it is today. And we're so grateful for this theology, are we not? It's an amazing theology, and it's positive. It's positive thinking, and it works. And so we're grateful for our founders, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, that were brave enough with no money to put this out to the world. And today we have a national headquarters. We even have churches in Africa, in Nigeria, which is amazing. So it has spread to different parts of the world. There are churches all over the United States. And so we are grateful for those. We're also grateful for those that have passed on, that were still in spirit, in our lives, that made a difference in our lives. I had a great person named Aunt Dodo, and she was a great aunt, but not by blood, who I discovered when I was in my 20s. And she taught me so much wisdom. I'll never forget it. I was 25 and she was 85. She was 85. So what a beautiful relationship, right? That I kind of stumbled into. So she's my person today that I honor with a rose. The ushers will walk from row to row and let you come up to the front. If you'd like to say a short prayer, feel free to stand at the altar and say whatever you want to say as you place your rose on the altar. And then when we have donations, you have an envelope that you can give a donation in honor of your person today. So let's begin with our remembrance ceremony. So will the ushers please take your places to let people come to the front? And you can start with the front rows, ushers, and just let the people come up.